Hi, welcome to For What It's Worth. I'm Mike, this is Justin, and today we're going to talk WWE, AEW, wrestling.
Yeah.
How are you feeling today, Justin?
Last Thursday night there was a big event for AEW.
It was Friday, I think, wasn't it? No, it's Thursday?
It was the 7th, it was Thursday.
All right. See, my days are all screwed up.
There was a lot of new signees announced to the AEW
Oh,
roster.
I'm so excited for the AEW card.
And there were a few matches set up for the Double or Nothing pay-per-view coming up in May.
Yeah, there's a total of 5 matches that not many people know about, but we'll let you know because for what it's worth, we've been doing our research. Now, the biggest of all, in my eyes, they actually put to pen and paper, Kenny Omega is now with AEW. Thank you, Kenny, for joining AEW. His title is Executive Vice President, but it does give him a window where he can still work with New Japan Wrestling. And that is kind of different than other contracts. So most people are locked down, can only work for one company at a time, such as the former WWE contracts where you're ours, you can't do nothing, we'll make you sit on the shelf if you want to play somewhere else. Just ask Neville, which is Pac, who happens to be at AEW. Wow.
Yeah. The most interesting part about the Omega coming out was actually not Omega, it was Chris Jericho.
Oh, yeah. Chris Jericho had to make an appearance and steal some of Kenny's thunder. You ain't getting in this group. This is mine, Jericho saying. Yeah. They set up for that card. They went at it, actually. Jericho was putting his finger in Omega's face, and he slapped it out of his, and that's where it just went crazy. All over that podium there. You see that?
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
Setting up Jericho versus Omega, Alpha versus Omega 2, but now for AEW at the MGM Grand in Vegas, May 25th. Ooh, I'm excited about that. I loved the last one with no DQ and the things that they went through. Whoo!
Yeah, that last one made me hurt for the next few days.
I know, just watching what they did. And that would be, in my opinion, a main event. But what they decided so far, a main event for the new unclaimed AEW championship, they have Hangman Page versus, as he says, the bastard Pac, formerly known as Neville, who was made to sit on a shelf over a year because he disagreed with what WWE wanted to do with his character. And I don't blame him. I'm kind of stuck like that too. I am this guy, not that guy. Screw you. And I would have done the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, it sucked not seeing him for so long.
I know, he's so good. First he was Adrian Neville, then Neville, and then they didn't even put him on TV. They let him lose to a guy that...
Who, a few months later, was not even with the company anymore.
Yeah, that's really sad. I'm glad that the calmer heads prevailed, and he was able to sign with AEW. And I'm looking forward to Hangman Page versus Pac for the title. They have another team that surprised a lot of people on Thursday night. Do you remember who?
If I remember correctly, that was Pentagon Jr. in Phoenix?
Yes, the Lucha Brothers are now AEW bound, and they made a big statement impact on that night. They super kicked Matt and did the Pentagon driver on Nick, or is it maybe it's the other way around? But either way, they both got hit, and that looked like welcome to the show, and we're gonna challenge you at AEW Double or Nothing. The Lucha Brothers versus the Young Bucks. So there we got 3 of them so far. Yeah. I'm excited for those 3.
Yeah, and for those of you who may not know, Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix actually recently just won the Impact Tag Team title.
That's right.
Well, so.
Impact, the company that went from 2 million to 10,000 viewers. I don't know how that happened. They had some talent, but nothing to really write home about. It kind of was like a development division in my eyes. A lot of the people go to many other organizations, from AAA to New Japan to WWE to now AEW, and they make names for themselves. But I can't believe that hearing the last report, 2 events ago they did 10,000 fans, and then they did 12,000. They were excited. They got 20% increase at 12,000. Oh my gosh. Guys, it's time to hang it up. Let the wrestlers out of their contracts and go somewhere else. You're punishing them. Yes, they're having fun and doing what they love, but man, no eyes on the product means there's nothing for them to promote of themselves. They don't make any money but what you give them, and that's probably not enough. I'm sorry for the guys at Impact Wrestling that are still there. I love some of the wrestlers that are still there and wish they would be in other places. But I don't watch the program anymore. I don't have access to it. And I'm not chasing it down on YouTube because they're not that talented. That's not true. They are talented. They are not that well known for me to want to waste an hour on. If I knew some of the guys, then maybe I would.
Maybe.
But
that's maybe a little incentive to try and keep them away from AEW.
yeah.
I think it's too late for that, though.
Well, the Lucha Brothers won the titles against LAX, who actually is probably one of the better teams there. And nobody saw it. But the finishing move, I got to see a little clip of it. Holy crap, the Pentagon driver where he bends the guy over and does the pile driver. But then Phoenix got on the top rope, jumped on him, did a stomp on his butt, and spike pile drived LAX to get the titles. Holy crap! Yeah. They're going to be wild. And WWE will, as far as I can see, wouldn't let them use a move like that.
No, probably not.
So I can see more action. AEW is not going to be PG rated. Thank God. Because I don't have to sit and watch those stupid pancakes being thrown or guys gyrating with pancakes. That makes no sense at all. So they have two other matches. The AEW announced that night that they were going to be partners with the alliance with AAA, and that brought out a guy named Sammy. I always say this name wrong, and I don't mean to. Guevara. He looks like the cruiserweight champion for AAA, and he was really, really good on the mic. He talked a good game. He said, "I'm the best wrestler you don't know," and he's going to make a name for himself and show us what we need to know. Mm-hmm. So I was impressed with him. Their whole roster, I have their whole roster, but a couple of people, they did make another alliance, I guess, partnership with OWE from China. And they brought up their legend. I'm not familiar with his name because I've never seen him before, but he's really a legend out there. So much that SoCal Uncensored, the three of them, Scorpio Sky, Christopher Daniels, and Frankie Kazarian, came out and challenged that man, the legend, with two of his best men from OWE. So that's a fourth match that'll be on the Double or Nothing card. So I'm pretty interested in that because I like SoCal Uncensored, and I think they're really talented. And if they're going to go against these guys, they have to be at least as talented to be on a pay-per-view. So that'll be pretty good.
Yeah, it's fair to give them a shot at least. I mean, those are all the SoCal Uncensored are all guys that you definitely want to put on a card.
Oh, yeah.
They're definitely a lot of fun to watch. So
Christopher Daniels is remarkable.
Yeah.
And so is Scorpio Sky, and can't leave out Kazarian. I really can't divide them because they're fairly talented equally. Now, there's one more match that hasn't been signed but is going to be signed, would be Kylie Ray versus Nyla Rose. When they announced on the platform, holy crap, did you see the size of Nyla Rose? She looks like Nia Jackson, and Kylie probably looks more like Stephanie McMahon, but not, I'm just saying size-wise. They're not in appearance. And holy crap. I think that could be an interesting fight. And they don't have a woman title match set up yet, so there will be a women's champion because Brandy Rhodes is the leader of the women's division, and I'm sure she has the knowledge of the talent that's coming. But as of right now, I don't know anymore, even through the grapevines that I look at. So those are the 5 matches that are set for Double or Nothing. And AEW has jumped on the opportunity and patented and trademarked the name Tuesday Night Dynamite for Tuesday night shows coming up in October. That means when WWE leaves the SmackDown audience to go to Friday, they'll be doing Friday night stuff, leaving the old SmackDown audience with nothing to watch. But now AEW is going to slide into that time slot, and maybe that crowd will stay and watch. And I think they will. I think they'll get a few more eyes than 12,000 people. And Impact was at one point competition. AEW is directly saying they're not going to be competition for WWE at this time. And I agree. At this time, they wouldn't have enough talent and firepower to compete with them on a regular basis. They have a larger lineup, and with that, they can put on more shows. AEW, if somebody gets hurt, they really have to wait. They only have 18 people as of right now, but 18 good people. So that's a big start. And I can give you the list of all of them. It starts with Hangman Page. He's incredible. Then, of course, Brandy Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes. Then they have a Ring of Honor woman that I've Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. She's actually a dentist, but she goes by the name The Doctor, and she's tall. That's something that other wrestlers have to look up to. Then we have, of course, Chris Jericho, Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, and Scorpio Sky. So that's part of it. Then let's see as I'm scrolling along. Oh, yeah, the bad boy Joey Janela. He was at the All In pay-per-view, and he put on a great match. Him and his valet at the time, Penelope Ford, they're both signed as wrestlers and performers here. Of course, Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson, forget about them. But MJF, do you know who that is? I was not familiar with this guy named MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
No, I'm not familiar.
He reminds me of a young Jericho. Smart-ass punk, doing things behind the people's heads. Like, he was in Hangman Page's face, chucking him the bird, and Cody was facing one direction. And as soon as Cody turned around, he's hugging him. Hey, great guy. As soon as Cody turned around, I'm going to kill you. And that's the kind of stuff Jericho used to play around with and be a ball buster. And I can see that. I'm so excited to see him. Now, they have, let's see, the whole OWE roster to be able to tap into with, of course, Pac, who's called the Bastard Pac. Then we have, let's see, who's next? Jungle Boy signed a couple of weeks ago. I haven't seen him wrestle. I hear he's pretty good, so I'm looking forward to see it because the people that are mentioning it are people that I like to watch. And then the biggest signing that I've never seen yet is Jimmy Havoc. I'm sorry, Jimmy. They say if you don't know who he is, go to YouTube and look up Sami Callihan versus Jimmy Havoc, and you'll understand why he's on the roster. So I plan on doing that this week, and I'll give you an update next week. Now they signed women AJ. Well, I don't know if it's AJ. AJA is how you spell it. I don't know how to say it. I'm too stupid to figure that out. So how you pronounce it?
Maybe Aja.
Aja, maybe. Yeah, Aja Kong. And then they have another Yuka Sakazaki. I'm not good with names. But the one that really stood out to me was on an intro, a guy named Sonny Rose. And very open character. I kind of like that he's very friendly and all that. But he reminds me a lot of the early Goldust. And where he would make you unsure of your sexuality. And Goldust would be grabbing you and stuff like that. So I can see a lot of play with Sonny Rose. That could be funny. And then they have, like I said, Sammy Guevara with the best guy you've never seen, Kylie Ray, Nyla Rose. Oh, and the best friends tag team of Chucky T and Trent Beretta left Ring of Honor, and they're now part of AEW. And of course, we know Kenny Omega, and that's the lineup that they have currently. You want to mention any of the names that are thinking of being signed?
There's quite a few WWE wrestlers who are unsatisfied right now, and a few of the ones that are thinking about jumping ship over to AEW very quickly. Randy Orton, Sasha Banks.
Sasha Banks?
Yeah.
That was big news. What is that about?
Yeah, Sasha Banks the other night on Instagram commented on Mauro Ranallo's post saying she needs him to commentate one of her matches before she leaves.
So she's planning on going. So that's like a Elimination Chamber spoiler, if you will. If Bayley and Sasha win, it's not going to be for long. So I'm kind of going to lean on Nia and Tamina from here on my pick.
Well, I mean, that's still a little bit away. So
it's only a week away.
Yeah. We'll see what they decide to do.
Right.
Gallows and Anderson, AJ Styles, Finn Balor all rumored to be going after their contract expires.
Yes. And then we also have Dean Ambrose, who's not going to resign. I heard some horror stories, and I really hope it's not true, that Dean Ambrose is going to have to face Nia Jax at WrestleMania and lose.
Yeah, that would be...
And then that'll be his last match. That's horrible. Dean deserves better than to be humiliated on stage. I'm sorry, Dean. I wish I could do something for you. Mm-hmm. And if you ever got to see this, I'm backing you no matter where you go. I like you. Mm-hmm. Now, AEW is said to have 2 legitimate TV offers on the table that are bigger than Impact's. Well, that's easy. But something more along the line from the old Impact Spike TV deal, which was a big deal at that time.
Yeah.
So if they get something like that, they will be in competition with WWE whether they want to be or not. So that's really all I had for you today. Just tell you what's going on with AEW and the people in WWE wanted to leave and things of that nature. Do you have anything you'd like to add, Justin, for what it's worth?
No, I'm just really excited to see what AEW has in store in the future.
Yes, it's going to be fun. All right, guys, thanks for watching. And please click subscribe, like, and the notifications will come your way after that. If you hit the little bell, ring that bell too. Now, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. For what it's worth, I'm Mike. This is Justin.